Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. So in this video we're going to talk about should you pull for Zandrok or not, because he is now available on the global server. So we are currently on the Pioneer server, that is why he's Paragon 4, and I have replays of him in Arena, in Dream Realm, and for AFK stages by the hardest pusher who is a Traxi on the Pioneer server. As of right now, basically Zandrok is not that important for AFK stages, not as important as we thought. Even though he can destroy some obstacles, it just kind of isn't really necessary for AFK stages. So I'm going to begin by showing you arena replays, because I think overall Zandrok is a very good PvP tech hero that really helps melee other heroes. Now, Baelran is basically one of the best melee hypercarries right now, and I'm just going to show you some team testing. Basically, this is regular arena, because we have all of our terms unequipped. No faction talents. You're going to see Zandrok with like a support the Baelran comp. You're going to see what happens. So Zandrok is going to run through, increasing the health of all of your team, also increasing the health of Baelran, and giving that movement speed buff so Baelran can get into the backline a bit faster. Even here, the Siren is going to crowd control our team, but we have enough basically support and healing from the Twins and Rowan that your Baelran is going to get his Ascension, and then Baelran is just going to shred everything. So in this team, what is Zandrok really doing? He is allowing your melee hero to get into the battle quicker because of that movement speed buff for 8 seconds at the beginning of the match. He also does give that initial haste and life drain buff, which can technically help Baelran like heal up and get his Ascension slightly faster, but I don't know how actually game changing that is. And then he can also destroy terrain. Now, I'm going to show you, though, another replay that Kulu is still not really too hard countered by the Zandrok. You're going to see this right here. We have a Kulu team, Kulu Cryonaya Hypercarry, and we did manage to win. However, you're going to see that Kulu is still really annoying to deal with. Watch what happens here. So Zandrok is just going to destroy the middle boulder, and then your whole team is blocked off. And so the enemy is still able to get off their Cryonaya ult. You can't even get through. Zandrok cannot run in. Baelran cannot run in. So like, even with the movement speed buff of Zandrok and Baelran, you're just completely walled off by the Kulu wall. And so Kulu still is a counter to Zandrok. We thought Zandrok might counter Kulu, but not really. So here I did manage to win in the end. I don't know if it was related to having Zandrok on the team. Maybe I could have won without Zandrok on the team. Just the Baelran has the potential of, soloing the Cryonaya if he can get his true Ascensions like he did here. However, I do think that Zandrok probably helped, because Zandrok does increase the health of all allies who he passes through at the beginning of the match. But it is only a 20% of your initial, health boost. So I think that is only amplifying. Baelran begins with 100% of his own health, and then he gets a 300% bonus on top of that you need to then recover over the course of the match. Now, I think Zandrok's buff of 20% health is only applying onto that initial 100% of Baelran's health. So, I think that if that is how it works, then Baelran's basically maximum health pool only goes from 400% to 420%, because 300% is a bonus he's providing himself, and then Zandrok's providing him another 20%, and so that's not a big difference, right? So that's the thing, Zandrok is kind of like that tech hero for the melee hypercarries, but it's awkward right now because there's just not enough good melee hypercarries that can benefit from Zandrok. I think in the future, because right now all the hypercarries, they're mainly range. Athalia, yes, is melee, but she bounces around. She's not really staying in one specific place, and she doesn't need the Zandrok support. But your other hypercarries, you have Cryonaya, Shamira, even I guess Tassi and things like that. These are all heroes which are long-range heroes. They do not need Zandrok's movement speed buff to get into the action, right? So, but I think in the future, if we get another melee hypercarry that is going to really want to get into the battle quickly, Zandrok is going to enable that hero. So that is what I'm looking at Zandrok for. I think that going forward, he has some longevity. He could be a good tech option for different hypercarries which are released in the future, melee hypercarries. That's what I'm thinking. But for right now, even though he is cool in these teams, is it actually needed? Because then, for example, I showed you that first Baelran replay of a Zandrok team dominating, but this team, I then ran it without Zandrok, and it also dominated. So really, it's just Baelran doing the work against this team. And yeah, you guys are noticing Zany is on the enemy team, because on the Pioneer server, Zany is being tested as well. I'll make a video after this about Zany. But yeah, so Baelran is doing fine on his own. He didn't need the Zandrok support, and did Zandrok really even provide anything that important? I don't know, because Baelran is still crushing this team. So I think that as of right now, Zandrok could give Baelran a slight edge in like his comps, maybe give him an advantage against some comps which are a little bit difficult for him. But like, I don't think it's a game-changing advantage that Zandrok is providing. Like, either Baelran's going to win or not, whether Zandrok is on the team or not. That's kind of what it's seeming like right now. And now let's go ahead and talk about Dream Realm. So Dream Realm, people were hoping, you know, with the HP boosting, he can power Baelran's damage. And he also has that haste buff, which can provide also power up a bit of damage output. But like, look at this right here. So Atraxi did testing of the best comp, and I believe this is the best comp. Damage output was like, and now we're gonna show you the Zandrok version. Zandrok version is going to get, as you see here, I think this is the one. Zandrok version is going to totally get 170 billion damage lower. Zandrok himself does pitiful damage for boss content. His HP buff hardly even increased Baelran's damage, so I think it's just 20% of Baelran's initial health, which is not that much, because already Baelran's getting 300% of his initial health as his own, from his own just mechanics, his own kit. And then that haste buff, not really needed, because you already have twins. Twins are providing enough haste for your team. So like, the haste also has diminishing returns, right? That's always the thing about haste. And this movement speed is not really important for boss content. That's really just the PvP tech side of it. So anyway, this is overall Zandrok in a nutshell. I think he is a safe pass for the majority of players. Definitely for PvP enthusiasts, or if you just have some melee comps you want to run with Zandrok. Definitely, I think Zandrok is a great PvP tech hero. And I think as time goes on and more strong melee heroes come out, Zandrok is always going to be one of those heroes you can rely on to partner up with in a team like that. And so I can definitely see if some crazy melee hypercarry is released, Zandrok might be the best ally for that hero. But as of right now, I just don't think they're good enough, strong enough melee hypercarries that can really benefit from Zandrok's buffs enough that it's just kind of not needed for him on your team. Like we said, it's kind of in PvP, Baelran's going to win regardless of whether Zandrok is on the team with him or not. Maybe Zandrok gives him a bit of an edge, but I don't know how actually important that is. So that's basically my opinion about Zandrok. And for AFK Stages, we said just not really used too much. So overall, my opinion on Zandrok is that for the majority of players, probably 90% of players, he is a skip. Also because this season has been so stacked with heroes. We have gotten so many good heroes. Ravion is still on the horizon, which is expected to be good. Zany is also going to be coming out shortly after Zandrok. Zany is looking pretty interesting as well. Definitely the unique mechanic, having the turrets placeable on the field, which do count as like independent like kind of bodies, which has uses for a variety of things, even Harak food. It has uses. So basically that's why I think, because we're limited on resources and because of the fact that Zandrok just really doesn't super like, he's not very dominant in any game mode, and he just seems kind of like that PvP tech option, which is not needed as of right now. So I think for majority of players, Zandrok is going to be in the skip tier, but for the PvP enthusiasts or people who have plenty of resources, definitely you can build him. And I think he's a really cool hero, and I do think that as time goes on, he's probably going to see more and more usage. I see him kind of like a Dunlinger, obviously nowhere as oppressive as a Dunlinger. Dunlinger is way stronger, don't get me wrong, but Zandrok for melee heroes can be kind of like that mini tech option, which could really enable teams. So I think going forward, Zandrok is an interesting hero. It will probably enable future heroes to come in future seasons. But for right now, I think he's just a pass. Not needed, not too important. But anyway, guys, let me know your opinions on Zandrok. I really do like the design choices of some heroes this season. Zandrok definitely very interesting and new. Completely like a really fresh mechanic, which I think will get value in the future. But for right now, I just don't think it is important enough. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. And finally, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. There's a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me at no extra cost to you. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.